Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be solving a programming question called FizzBuzz. This is considered an easy question and the description goes like this. Write a program that outputs the string representation of numbers from 1 to n, but for multiples of 3 it should output fizz instead of the number, and for multiples of 5 output buzz. For the numbers which are multiples of both 3 and 5 output FizzBuzz. So just to give you guys a little bit of context before we solve this problem. This problem was originally a children's game to teach them about division. The children would sit around in a circle and they would have to count from 1 to n. Every child would count one number, and then if the number was divisible by 3, they would have to say fizz. If the number was divisible by 5, they would have to say buzz. And if the number was divisible by both 3 and 5, they would have to say FizzBuzz instead of the actual number. So these would teach them about division, and if they forgot to say fizz, buzz, or FizzBuzz, they would lose the game. Okay, so to solve this problem, we're going to loop through all of the numbers from 1 to n, including n, because n is our last number. And then we're going to set up our conditionals. And our conditionals are our if statements. So if the expression is true, we're going to output something, and if our expression is false, then we're going to output something else. So if the number we're currently on is divisible by 3, or in programming mathematical operations, if the remainder of the number we're currently on divided by 3 is 0, that would mean the number we're currently on is divisible by 3. Then we would also have to check if that number is divisible by 5. And if it's divisible by both 3 and 5, then we would return FizzBuzz. If it's only divisible by 3 and it's not divisible by 5, we will output fizz. And if it's divisible by 5 but not divisible by 3, we would output buzz. And then otherwise, if it's not divisible by 3 nor divisible by 5, then we will output just the number we're currently on. Now that we have our algorithm, let's look at how to write this code in Python. First, I'm going to set the results variable to an empty list so that I can add my results as I loop through all of the numbers and get their results. Now I'm going to loop through the numbers in the range of 1 through n plus 1. Note that here we had to loop through the range of 1 through n plus 1 because Python's for loops are not inclusive in the end. So if I were to do 1 through n, it would only loop through 1 to n minus 1. So that's why I had to add the extra 1 in the end so that it can include the very last number. Now I'm going to set a temporary variable called output, and it's going to be an empty string. And then I will set the conditionals, which are if num mod 3 is equal to 0. The mod here means modulo, and if the number I'm currently at, modulus 3 equals 0, means if I divided number by 3 and the remainder gives me 0, that means it's divisible by 3. And I would add fizz into the output. So output plus equals fizz. If the num I'm currently at, mod 5, is equal to 0, that means it's divisible by 5. I would output and add buzz. We used two if statements instead of an if-else if statement because if it is divisible by 3, we will add fizz, and if it is also divisible by 5, we will just add buzz instead of having another statement to set the conditionals and see if it should output FizzBuzz. Now that I have set the conditionals to see if the number is divisible by 3 and or 5, I will append my results depending on the output. If the output is empty, I would append the number because that means that the number was not divisible by 3 nor was it divisible by 5. So I would just output the number. But if it was divisible by 3 or 5, I would append the results. So I would do results dot append output or string of numbers because we have to return it in a string format. And now I would return the results. Okay, now I have all the code. I am going to run it. And we will see that we'll get the right results. I will try another test case. This time I will try with 15 so that you can see that there are some numbers that are returning Fizz and other numbers that return Buzz and other numbers that return FizzBuzz. So there we go. That is our solution to the FizzBuzz problem. I hope you guys all enjoyed solving this problem with me. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Or if you have any questions, please comment down below. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Bye.